Alright, what's up everyone? So the first thing that I want to talk about in this video is the massive popularity of the new Netflix series Squid Game and how it has come into the YouTube scene with various YouTubers and streamers making content around it. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that everybody here knows what Squid Game is, but just in case there's someone that will want some context, Squid Game is this fictional show where hundreds of people get brought into a location to play a series of children's games and then win a big amount of money if they make it to the end and win. The only catch here is that if they lose the game, they get killed right on the spot. So yeah, this show has gone immensely popular and it's even said to be the most popular show on Netflix of all time. So with that going on, you can bet your ass that a lot of YouTubers out there were making content based around the show's premise. We saw many doing in real life Squid Game videos like Bryce Hall, FaZe Rug, H3H3, and even Critical. But then also with Squid Game being this popular of a series, it was only a matter of time before we saw Roblox creators start making games around it. And boy, were there many of those games on Roblox soon after the show had come out. We saw many YouTubers and Twitch streamers come out and play these Roblox games like PewDiePie,
Stopping. Oh!
Muda,
You got shot!
Aiden Ross, in which he had a little bit of an unexpected moment with this clip here.
Do you want to play, oh my god, King Von just got oh, fuck. That's
What? Bro, chill, bro.
That's his name, bro. I didn't mean... Fuck.
Bro.
Now, if you don't know exactly what happened here, Aiden was just about to say that someone in the game named King Von got shot, and this was an awkward moment because there was a Chicago rapper named King Von that passed away about a year ago in Atlanta after getting shot, and yeah, with that happening, Aiden ended up apologizing for the mishap.
First of all, chat, I didn't say anything disrespectful. Like, I didn't say, like, oh, like, I wasn't, like, making fun of it. The guy's name appeared as that, right? I wouldn't fucking do that, bro. I wouldn't do that shit. Nah, y'all are saying fucking... Okay, you guys know it's cool, yeah.
But then we also got Critical playing Squid Game on Roblox.
Easy. Oh! That kid just died!
He even came up with a new meme of this weird looking skin that some other guy in the lobby had with the username Jim Wool, and that became a thing.
His name's just Jim Wool. We've already won one of them. Oh my god, it's Jim Wool again. No, not that face! It's Jim Wool! Come on, Jim! No, God, no! Jim!
And of course, we also had XQC getting into some of that Squid Game action. And another moment that I want to add here was that XQC was just playing and then fucking Jim Wool was there in the game with him. The chat was freaking out and everything. But moving on to the final thing that I want to talk about with the Squid Game trend here is that many people now want to see MrBeast make a video around the topic in the games. We had this meme floating around and it does seem intriguing. Obviously we won't have the killing, but it could still come out to be a great concept of a video. MrBeast just has to add his own spin on it. So of course there were memes around MrBeast and Squid Game and they were nice, but I don't think anybody would be able to top John Swan's meme video on the topic.
I bought this entire island. I brought in a bunch of my subscribers and gave them a chance to win tons of money. And every time someone gets eliminated, I add $100,000 to the prize pool. I don't care how long this takes. Whichever one of you leaves last wins $40 million.
Oh, hold the phone everyone. MrBeast just posted this TikTok regarding Squid Game.
If this TikTok gets 10 M likes, I'll recreate Squid Games in real life.
Well, it hasn't even been a day and the TikTok's already gone over 10 million likes. So I guess we're getting a MrBeast Squid Game video soon. Should be good. Alright, now let's move on to the next topic that I want to talk about, and that is Shane Dawson's return to YouTube. So Shane Dawson was this massive YouTuber that got cancelled in the middle of last year, and it was this whole big thing. Well, now he's come back with this video titled The Haunting of Shane Dawson. And it's basically like part one of this series he's doing now where he's like gonna visit some haunted places. I don't know, something like that. But before he could get to that, he did speak a bit about his cancellation for a bit, and I found this part kind of interesting.
I think part of me was upset because I was like, I made so much growth and now I'm being canceled over things from the past, and that's not me anymore, but I can learn from it. And like, it also made me realize that I can't focus on what other people think of me. I can't control the way that people feel about me. I can't control how people react. I feel like I'm so happy it happened, so grateful that I got canceled, because it really changed my life. It showed me what I care about, it showed me what matters.
Now, of course, with Shane Dawson's controversial past, this return was also controversial. While the likes to dislike ratio is fairly positive towards Shane right now, it's kind of like a 50-50 as to what people have to say about him. Like, for example, one content creator that was not pleased with his return was Pokimane, and on the opposite side of the spectrum, one creator that was happy with the return of Shane was Keemstar, as he tweeted out, "Shane Dawson is a great YouTuber / entertainer, hands down, one of the best." And honestly, I'm on that side of the spectrum with Keemstar for the Shane Dawson return. Yeah, Shane Dawson says some really messed up things and very regrettable stuff, but for the most part, they were really just jokes from like the 2010 era or somewhere around there, and people were just now getting worked up over it last year. One of the reasons why I think that cancellation happened around that time was because there was really nothing else to do when basically everyone from teens to young adults were locked up in their homes due to COVID. Now, yeah, it's great that Shane was called out on it and that made him take accountability for it, but people just want this guy to be deplatformed and stuff, acting like he's a current danger to society when all he really wants to do now is just make content. Like, the dude is happy with the partner that he's with. I don't think he wants to do anything malicious to anybody now, and I don't think he wanted to in the past either. Remember, the internet was different back then. People said all types of fucked up things in the past just to get some attention and views, but things are different now. And yeah, Shane Dawson is a great content creator in my opinion, and I'm somewhat glad that he's back. But I'll be honest, the video that he made prior to getting cancelled wasn't interesting to me, and his new video wasn't that interesting to me either. And I don't think that the new series he's doing will captivate me either, or even his audience as well. But I don't know, I'll still be checking it out. But while we're on the topic of cancellations, let's talk about YouTube canceling their yearly rewinds for good now. So as we all know, YouTube at the end of every year had this big video in store for us, where they showcased the year's biggest trends and YouTubers and stuff like that, and it was this big thing that many people look forward to, whether it was to enjoy it or just criticize the hell out of it. And then the biggest moment and meme that came out of this series was when YouTube Rewind 2018 went on to become the most disliked video on the whole entire website. And then the following year, the 2019 Rewind that came out was basically just like a top 10 video, and it wasn't really interesting to talk about. And then on 2020, they decided to not do one because of how shitty the year was. And now YouTube's come out and said that they're not going to do one this year for 2021. And a lot of people out there thought that maybe they didn't want to do any more rewinds because of the criticism that they've been getting over the past several years. But in the 2Filter article, it says that the decision was made on what would be the 10th anniversary of Rewind. YouTube says that it's not abandoning the project because of the widespread criticism it has received on more recent efforts, but because its platform has become so massive that it is impossible to encapsulate its vastness and diversity within a minutes-long compilation. And yeah, that makes sense. There's just so many content creators out there nowadays on YouTube, and it would just be so much harder to make the majority of people happy. But dude, I mean, you could at least still try. But it is what it is. You know, it's kind of crazy to think about. The last Rewind that YouTube made, the 2019 one, that one features H3H3 and Reyes in the beginning. That's kind of funny. As for the future of Rewinds coming from big YouTubers, we just gotta wait and see if MrBeast and or PewDiePie want to continue the tradition. I think MrBeast will be the one to continue it, but again, we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. As for me, I'm still going to continue to do my own rewinds like the ones I did for the past couple of years. And just for a heads up, I upload those on the last day of the year, so be on the lookout for the end of 2021 on my channel. And yeah, I think that'll be the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, then make sure to drop a like. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, then go ahead and subscribe. It's free and you can always change your mind later. Alright, see you in the next video.